Hey, come catch this wave with the Fixx squad. The Fixx is in. I'm Mr. Soul, I'm tuning in. What you doing?
Stand up. James left, but the king still reigns here. No tears, no love lost, no rain here. Delivers, I promise, Santa rain here. Love for the city still resides here. Fix for your ailment, faith that resides outside the lines. Detox your mind, cause it matters. Art outside the box, we paste better. The Fixx is in, and we rock a chin, or we rock with them for what's deep within. Expose those who talk but don't live. Expose those who talk but don't live. Take offense, judge by the fruit from the tree. But if the fruit
Welcome back. DJ Focus. You already know you tap back into the Fixx, your source of faith-infused hip-hop, R&B, and poetry. Stop playing. You know what time it is. Listen, we got an exclusive for you this morning. We're joined by a super talented, let's be very clear, she is a social media influencer. She's a mentor. She's a podcaster. And she has a very, she's an author too as well. She has a very unique faith story that I wanted to bring her on this morning to share with the people. We talk all the time about God and how God can restore you and just put you in a place to where he can use you in a mighty, mighty way. So listen, without further ado, help me welcome in the super talented Raven Hartwell. What's going on, sis?
Hey, what's up? How are you?
All is well. Thanks for just hopping on with us this morning.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me. It's a blessing. And thanks for doing everything that you're doing, especially creating environment for Christians and for people to hear things like this. It's amazing.
Absolutely. So, yes, for someone who may not know Raven, walk us through a little bit of your backstory of your faith journey and what that looks like from, early on to where we are now.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump right in. So at the beginning of my marriage, about 10, actually, we're going on 10 years now. In June, it'll be 10 years. I cheated on my husband. And so after that, the Lord really restored our marriage in such a way, by way of my husband, his love for me really changed my entire life. And not only that, we actually ended up losing our son in 2020, which really, like, everything all, and here's my point. These two things really kind of like took me to where I am today in my faith, and really just seeking God, because obedience is truly it's vital. It's vital. Like, your life is at stake when you're not obedient. And it's not in obedient to where it's like a tyrant type thing, but it's obedience to where God literally knows what's best for you. And so, you know, that's pretty much like where that's pretty much my story. But yeah, along the way, the Lord really has restored us, and our marriage has been stronger than ever before. And so I just love to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ through my testimony, to help others see that if he did it for me, he can do it for you. I was the adulterous woman in the Bible. That was literally me.
Mm. What made you be so bold enough to put it on social media? I think I first saw it on a TikTok video. Like, speak to that a little bit, because I don't know if everybody is able or vulnerable enough to allow for people to see that part of them, like from the beginning all the way through the whole process. Like, you were, like I said, I was seeing videos and videos and videos. So like, you were very vocal about it off top. What made you do that TikTok video and show the world that?
In all honesty, I didn't want to. My husband, he was honestly the one that encouraged me to do it. And so I had decided, I prayed about it, and I felt peace about doing that, because I wasn't doing it anymore. So it would have been a different story if I was still cheating, and then I go out and I'm like, yo, look, you shouldn't be, like, no, I wasn't a hypocrite. God had really transformed my mind and my marriage at that time. And so it was literally the leading of the Lord to share the testimony of, hey, God did this for me, and he can do it for you. And after that, so many marriages were, people were really pouring in and, like, saying like, wow, I thank you for saying that. And not only that, it was literally like I was the only woman to even admit that I had cheated on my husband. So it to the world it seemed crazy, but to me it was literally the leading of the Lord.
What was the mental what was your mental state during that? So like, you confess to him, you know, it is what it is. Where were you at mentally to even have that conversation with your husband? Like, I can just only imagine my wife just coming home one day and saying, "Yeah, by the way, this has been
Yeah.
happening." So like, talk about that a little bit.
So my mental state at that time was devastated because this was a drunk situation, and a friend at like a work type thing. And I literally called my husband immediately, which is crazy. People are like, "Oh, well, that's why I get why your husband stayed." But at the end of the day, like I'm the type of person, if I do something wrong, I can't hold that. Like it eats at me. So even when it comes to the Lord, so like I'm literally like I can't. I have to repent and I have to say what I have to say, because it eats at you. It literally does. And so that was my mindset at the time. And at the time, he didn't believe me. He was like laughing, but he heard me like crying, and he was like, "Oh no, she's serious." And then the laughter turned into him just bawling, crying, weeping. And we were both like, we were both weeping at the time.
Wow. Wow. And you said this was somebody you would previously work with, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm praying for your husband because I could just only imagine me. I would have been up there the next day at work and laying holy hands on you. I'm sorry, on somebody. I'm sorry. I just would have been laying holy hands on somebody. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he definitely wanted to.
Yeah. Okay. Listen. I understand. So wow. Bring us up to speed now where you are now. So you go through this whole process. Did you reach out to, I don't know, were you already connected to a local church, a member of a local church? Did you start getting some type of spiritual counseling to like get yourself back together, or how did that work?
So at the time when we were restoring, or in the midst of restoring our marriage, we had nobody to go to be honest.
Not even a marriage counselor or anybody?
We had our parent, my mother. She was
Oh.
like talking with us. She was the only one who knew. My dad wasn't really involved because he didn't really know how to handle that. Like, so my mom, she would talk with us, and honestly, like it was just us. Like we did a lot of fasting and praying. Like and that was literally the leading of the Lord because we had nobody to go to at that time. And and then after that, we actually did move. We ended up moving to Georgia, and my aunt and my uncle, they would speak with us, during like after like arguments or whatever, to like reconcile, to get to the root of certain things. And then but really it was a lot of like we were really kind of, it felt like we were navigating it on our own, but really we weren't. The Lord was really with us. Now I'm literally thinking back and I'm like, dang, like, but yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Yeah.
We saw a lot of, I know we're at the back end of this pandemic pretty much being over with, but I know early 2020 and 2021, we saw a lot of Christians, believers, kingdom marriages crumble,
Yeah.
and a lot of divorces happen. From your perspectives, being that, you went through a restoration within your marriage, why do you think so many kingdom marriages crumble?
To be very honest with you, the opposite of love is selfishness. So any type of selfishness is going to, it's gonna mess up. It's gonna mess up literally anything. Like any relationship that you have, and there's even an ounce of selfishness there, you're kind of subject to doing and behaving however you want. I mean, if you
Hmm.
think about it, love is it's a service. It's literally selfless. So, it could be a lot of marriages tend to end by way of lack of being willing to do something, or somebody's not willing to, like, like it has something to do with their will and just that what you want, or when in reality it's about the both of you. You're one. You are you're supposed to be on one accord. That's just my opinion, but that's how I viewed it. Because after my husband and I went through what we went through, I had to really learn I was learning how selfish I actually was. And not only that, he was seeing how selfish he was. So it was really I have to pick up my cross. Like when you're married, it is symbolic of Jesus, for real.
That's good. That's good. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. If God let me live to this July, it'd be 23 years for me. So
Oh,
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think, yes, you do have to represent. If Christ is not in the center of the marriage, it will never work, because absolutely, we all can wake up one day in our feelings,
yeah,
and we know our feelings can be misguided, you know.
yeah, that's true.
So, wow, you go through this rush. How did you even get into, okay, you did the TikTok video, you started seeing the response, everybody reaching out, whether it's good or bad, whatever. How did you get to a place to where you started doing almost like this motivational speaking around this conversation and everything you're doing with the podcast and YouTube videos?
Honestly, I wanted to I believe the Lord was saying, like, we had to provide a resource for those to go to, because I didn't want people to think like I was just trying to share that just to get famous or anything, because I don't have no like desire to get famous off of something like being the girl that cheated on her husband. I mean, although people know me as that, but there's resources out there where we're going in depth to actually help people, rather than, and it's all free. So like the podcast, like even my husband and I are actually working on a book right now, trying to help couples, fast to get to their point, their breakthrough in their marriage, after infidelity specifically. But yeah, we really wanted to create a resource, and God provided that. And he provides even the words. Sometimes I don't even know what to say, and it just comes out.
That's good. Listen, DJ Focus, you tuned into The Fix right here on SiriusXM, channel 154, Holy Culture Radio. We got to go to a quick break. I promise you, don't touch that dial. We coming right back with more from Raven Hartwell. Keep it locked. You tuned into The Fix. You know The Fix is in.
Holy Culture Radio. We're not just background noise. We play the music that inspires you, because every song has a story. Christian hip hop and R&B music and talk on SiriusXM channel 154, 24 hours a day. Holy Culture Radio is changing the game. Discussions about faith, arts, vocation, and education. We talk about the real issues that affect our communities and work together to find solutions. Join the discussion at holyculture.net and be heard.
Welcome back, DJ Focus. You tune back into The Fix right here on Holy Culture Radio, SiriusXM, channel 154. Listen, still got the super talented, author, social media influencer, artist, Raven Hartwell on the line with me. So, Raven, talk about it. First, yeah, come on, because we're going to talk music now, because, yeah, a lot of people might not know that you're doing music and everything. Tell us, who were some of your musical inspirations growing up that even got you even thinking about doing music, singing, and everything?
In all honesty, it definitely Whitney, and I really I love Whitney, and Todd Delaney for sure. I love Todd, but yeah, those are my two. That's it.
No, that's good. So talk about the culture of music growing up in your city. Like, what was that like, and how did that shape you as an artist?
See, I'm from Vegas, so
Yeah,
West Coast all the way.
right.
That's strange. At the time, the way the culture was, I honestly, I just wanted to sing for the Lord. I had no
Mm,
dealings with, like, I really had no, okay, I did like some little like mixtapes or whatever, but other than that, like, I knew what I needed to do. I knew what I wanted to do, and that was to sing for God. I grew up in the church. So
mm.
I had little knowings of the things that was like as far as the culture, so to speak, if what you just asked. But yeah, that That's what I pretty much have to say about that.
No, that's fine. Are you a PK?
I am.
Oh, so now it makes sense. So, yes. Listen, we ain't gonna get you out of here without speaking to that dynamic. Speak to growing up as a PK, misconceptions are the stuff, that usually people saying, is that real? Is that genuine? Speak a little bit to that just from your experience.
As a PK, I mean, it's real for sure. I think anytime somebody has an assignment on their life, their kids are gonna have they're gonna kind of feel the back end of that. So, and especially if, and my dad, I'm not bashing my dad. I love my dad. I understand, but a lot of the things that he did, he never really took care of home, and he was more so focused on a lot of the church. So anytime you're in that type of anytime you're in ministry, a lot of times you can tend to forget, or even just like kind of put your kids on the back and not really tend to the needs that is spiritually needed for them. So I mean, that's pretty much like my story concerning that. You can go it goes a long way, but for any PKs out there, I say really like sit with God and just pray for your family for sure.
Was it a struggle, just talking with your dad by him being a pastor and just with your journey? Was that a struggle for you just to go and sit down with him and just try to, receive something from him, but also tell him, hey, Dad, this is where we're at. Can you pour into me? What's your advice? Like, was that tough for you?
Yeah, because see, the way that my dad was, like, it was very tough because he wasn't the type to like explain. It was more so of like it was I hate saying this. It really was like almost like abuse, kind of. Like he was tending more so, like when I say tending more so to the people, there was no real tending to us. So anytime I had a question or I needed advice, I wasn't able to really get that because it was kind of like receiving two sides of like two different people, if that makes any sense. Trying to disclose as much information without like,
No, 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 that's real. Did that affect the man that you selected to date? Did that
yes,
the relationship between your dad?
yeah, absolutely. Like I think I even stated this on, like, it was another podcast that I did. A lot of the reason why I had even got with my husband was because he wasn't like my dad. So, he was genuine in everything that he said, everything that he did, it was genuine. Even when I would ask for advice, he would give that freely. Um so, and it took a lot of guys for me to get to him. Not like, I'm not saying that to be like, no, I'm just saying, I'm just being real. Let's be real.
Listen, I ain't said nothing.
Right.
Listen.
Listen, I'm gonna be real. It took a journey to get to him, but when I got to him, I mean, I could go in on this. When I got to him, it wasn't as like I didn't treat him right because I didn't know how to do him. I didn't know how to. I just it was. It's a lot that, I mean, I don't want to take up your time, but yeah.
No, you're good. So my thing is this. So then, did you turn to music? Was music your therapy, or did you seek some type of therapy? Because from what I'm hearing, you're very passionate about what you know.
Mhm.
You're very passionate about understanding your relationship not only with God but also how your father's relationship impacts you, and then how you carried on with your dating. So now, was the music an outlet for you, like some type of therapeutic outlet, or did you seek like professional therapy?
No, I actually never did any professional. The last therapist I saw, she actually like prescribed me like pills, and then I just was like, I'm not doing this. I could never go back to another therapist. So really, I sought, yes, music was an outlet. I listened to a lot of Bizzle's music. I'll be very honest with you, because he was so real and so honest, so raw. Even throughout our marriage, when we were going through things, like his music really uplifted. Man, I could cry. Wow. He really uplifted us, and just really like it took me to. He actually helped get me where I am today. If that makes any sense.
No, it makes perfect sense, and thank you for sharing that. So, talk about that. How did you even meet Bizzle and the connection even before you guys made this hot single y'all got right now going? How did you even meet him? Was it a DM? Was it an email? Did you like, you know what? I have to tell him how his music has been impacting me. Like, I can't just keep not sharing this with
No,
him.
actually, he had actually followed me one time. I had followed him,
Mhm.
and then he followed back. And then I followed his wife also, and then he actually unfollowed me. And then I went and unfollowed him, and it was like crazy. I was like, why did he that hurt me? I was like, why did he unfollow me? So then I guess like a year later, the Lord had he had released a song called or I wanted to do his, like, it was that song called it was about like you trying to turn your little boy into a princess, that song. So I did that song on TikTok, and then I had actually went and I had followed him again, and then he turned around and he followed back, and I guess he saw that video. That video went viral. It was a bunch of hate on that video. And after that, we had been following each other since, and then also his wife as well followed. And after that, he just kind of hit me up, and he was like, "Hey, like, do you sing or whatever?" And yeah, so that's pretty much how that came about. But it was
What was it? What was that feeling like? Listen, Bizzle hit you up like, do you sing? You know, and I know you like, yes.
yeah, no, it was just like that. Like I was very I was kind of starstruck a bit because I was like, dang, like he's literally who I listen to all the time. Um, so yeah, I was a bit starstruck, but I did answer.
So when you finally answered, y'all started building, and all right, you guys picked out this track, or he picked out this track for you to finally be on. Talk us through the creative process. Like, what was your thought process of even, okay, all right, what I say? How do I create this? Like, walk us through creating the song.
um, well, he created the song.
Okay, everything, even your hook and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, he did that.
Okay.
That
I didn't know if you had some type of process in it. That's why I was
Oh
asking.
yeah, no, that was all him. I actually sent him like something where I was like harmonizing. He was like, "No, I don't like that." Like, well, he didn't say he didn't like it, but he was like, "I like the first
Right.
one better, the one he did." So,
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. So just what can we expect going forth now? Let's be very clear. It's a banger. I think your hook and everything you brought to the song, you brought high energy. We know what Bizzle bring. Absolutely. He's a huge reason why I do this show here.
wow,
Because actually, you're totally right when you talk about somebody that's transparent, that's real, that makes you think about
yeah,
things. That's something that always draws me to Bizzle. He makes you think. It's like, wow, he's so off the hook with it, but I got to go research this stuff to make sure. Let me see if he lying or not.
yeah.
And then you find out he ain't lying. You be like, oh my goodness.
Yes, he's so needed. Like he's doing way more work than he probably thinks he is. Like he's changing lives for sure. He's definitely dope. But for me, I don't know what's next, honestly, especially regarding like them. Whatever he wants, I told him. Like my answer is pretty much yes. Like regarding him and his wife, like and God over money, whatever they need, I'm there for them. Um, just because of literally like what the Lord he's used them in my life like tremendously. So
How about yourself personally? Do you think you would ever make like a whole project, an EP, a mixtape, or just something on
I
yourself?
would love to. Right now I'm in the place of just kind of sitting with the Lord and trying to figure out what he wants. Like, cause I don't want to do nothing outside of what he wants.
What's next for you? What else you got going?
Honestly, I know we have my husband, like I said, my husband and I are coming out with a book. We're gonna start doing a lot more like infidelity talk. Um, just really trying to help other couples and maybe even like not counseling, but just like coaching. Maybe I'm not sure. We're still talking about that. So yeah.
Let's have some fun before I get you out of here. Give me your 3 top gospel groups of all time.
Whoa. Definitely the Winans. Uh, who else? Oh, Clark Sisters for sure. And um, dang, I don't really have anybody else.
Really?
Yeah.
No Dawkins and Dawkins, no Mary Mary,
Oh
no the Walls group.
Mary for sure. Mary for sure. I met Tina one time and I was like, I just loved her. I loved her personality, everything about her. So yes, Mary.
Okay. Listen, you scared me for a second. I'm like, she a PK too? Wait a minute. Shame the devil. You better say some names now. All right, so if you could create a supergroup, of course, you're still the lead singer in this supergroup. If you could pick 2 artists, dead or alive, from any genre of music, what 2 artists you pick?
Ooh. Definitely, I would say Tina. But oh man, she's like a powerhouse. Tina and I'm trying to think. I would say Tina and Erica for sure.
That's
like
what's up. That's
dream
what's up.
come true.
Absolutely. Listen, we appreciate you coming through with us and rocking with us this morning, Raven. Tell the people how they can connect with you, follow you on all your social medias and website, and as well as introduce your latest single with Bizzle.
Yeah, so you can connect with me on Raven Thomas Hartwell on Instagram, Raven Hartwell on TikTok, and yeah, check out the song, check out Bizzle's album, Lightwork 3, and the song that I am on is $1 Million.
Keep it locked. You tune into The Fixx. You know The Fixx is.
Hey, come catch this wave with the Fixx squad. The Fixx is in. I'm Mr. Soul, I'm tuning in. What you doing?
Stand up. James left, but the king still reigns here. No tears, no love lost, no rain here. Delivers, I promise, Santa reindeer. Love for the city still resides here. Fix for your ailment, faith that resides outside the lines. Detox your mind, cause it matters. Art outside the box, we paint better. The Fixx is in, and we rock a channel. We rock with them for what's deep within. Expose those who talk but don't live. Expose those who talk but don't live. Take offense. Judge by the fruit from the tree, but if the fruit tastes like